Here we go. All right, let's start with the big issue in the 2012 presidential race, jobs. Why haven't jobs come back as fast as many people thought they should?
Because they're going to China. China is taking our jobs, they're making our product, and we have to do something about it, and we have to do something about it quickly. They are decimating our country just as OPEC is decimating our country with their oil prices.
But how can you compete with Chinese labor, which is much, much less than unionized American labor? I mean, what are you going to make a law that says you can't, American companies can't manufacture in China? You're going to make a law?
By getting China not to manipulate their currency. It's very tough for our companies to compete with Chinese companies because, very simply, they manipulate their currency. And when you manipulate a currency like they do, they're professionals at it.
Well, how are you going to do that, though? Chinese are going to say, we're going to do what we want, and we don't care what you say.
You're going to do something very simple, Bill. 25% tax on China unless they behave. That'll do two things, really, and really three. People will start will create jobs in this country, number one. Number two, China's going to come to the table. It'll never even come to that because they can't do it. We are rebuilding China.
All right, but you're threatening China with a trade war.
I'm not threatening it, no.
25% tariff, that's big.
Bill, they're threatening us. They're going to make a $300 billion, let's call it, profit this year on the United States. $300 billion. And more importantly, not only $300 billion, they're taking our jobs. We have to do something about China. We have to do something about OPEC. We cannot have oil at $105, which is going to go to $150 very soon. We have nobody to speak to these guys. They wouldn't be there except for us. They wouldn't be there.
Well, what are you going to say to the OPEC? You got to keep your oil at a price that we, the United States, want? They're going to say no.
The messenger is the key. If you have the right messenger and they know how to deliver the message.
What, are you going to scare them?
You're going to scare them, absolutely.
How are you going to scare the sheikhs?
They wouldn't be there except for us.
So what are you going to say?
Them. We have soldiers in Saudi Arabia. They don't pay us for anything.
But unintended consequences of you threatening the Chinese and OPEC, I mean, that's going to have a big blowback on the United States. Now, it sounds good to be a tough guy. I'm a tough guy. You know that.
You're a tough guy.
Okay, all right.
You're a tough
But
guy.
the blowback, all right, from China and OPEC could really, really harm the country.
The only thing you have to fear is fear itself.
I'm so FDR. Surprised.
I'm so surprised at you. Let me tell you something.
So surprised.
The mere threat of doing that, and they know it's right.
Then why hasn't Obama or Bush done it?
Bill, because they don't have the capacity to do it.
Let me just tell you something. To do it?
Maybe they're not smart enough. Maybe they're not tough enough. Maybe they don't have the right ingredient to do it, and they should absolutely be doing it. The mere putting on a tax on China, you're never going to have to do it because they're going to come to you, they're going to call you, and I don't mean where you give them a big party for their president who's been screwing us for years and years and years at the White House. They're going to call you and say, what do we have to do? Because we are rebuilding China. You go to China, they're building airports, they're building bridges, they're building cities, bigger than New York City, all with our money, mostly with our money.
All right. GE pays no taxes to the federal government. You see my report the other day, General Electric?
Okay, I saw
no
a lot
tax,
of reports.
Zero, nothing.
Not so good.
What do you do?
Well, you change the tax code so that people have to pay something. They have to at least pay. Now, it was interesting that some companies paid 40%.
Well, tell me what you do to make GE and other companies that don't pay anything because they park money offshore.
The problem with the tax code is it's so complicated.
Right.
As an example, I have a big company. I pay lawyers millions of dollars a year, millions, over a tax code. I think that you have to simplify it, and people should pay a fair amount of tax.
What's fair?
Without a tax increase. Well, whatever's fair.
You want flat tax? What do you want?
But you have companies, some were paying 40%, some were paying nothing.
But tell me what
and by the way, some of the ones that were paying nothing were doing better than the ones paying 40%.
Fine, but if you're president, you're not going to be able to do it on rhetoric. You're going to have to say, this is a fair tax code. How much should I pay? I make a lot of money, not nearly what you make, but how much should I pay in tax to the federal government? What percentage of my income?
I think we need a tax system.
Well, tell me how much I should pay.
I can't do that right now, Bill. Bill, I'd like you to pay 100% because you have plenty of money.
Okay.
You should pay everything.
Just give everything away.
You should pay everything.
All
As far
right,
as just you, but you should be the only one in the country.
But don't you see that people are going to want you as a candidate for president to tell them how much they should pay, how much corporations should pay?
You have to look at the deficits, and I will tell you,
it's 14
if
trillion.
I ever decide to run, it's 14 trillion, and it's increasing rapidly.
Correct.
If I ever decide to run, and I may, and I'll make that decision before June, we're not going to have the kind of problems that we have right now because I won't be taken advantage of by the rest of the world. We are a whipping post for
I
the
got
world.
it. All right.
And Bill,
but you're going to have to come up with some kind of tax code.
Believe me, there won't be so much tax necessary as there is right now, because we are a whipping post. We are being ripped off by the rest of the world to the tune of trillions of dollars. I'm not talking about the old word billions. I'm talking about the new word trillions.
Okay.